Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Tyranny with me, Bring It On. Now let's go turn this quest into Graven Ashe. Maybe swing by the spire and pick up our in-progress weapon and research at the library. And then see who's next on the chopping block. Because the conquest is not over. They keep us safe in our hands. Repairs are already underway. Well, neat. I just want to hear about what we've accomplished here. I'll hang back and oversee repairs of the defenses. But Demetrius went to tell him what happened. But she seems to be hinting that I should be the one to go do it. I'm a fate binder, not some errand boy. I'm going to check one thing real quick. Saw these guys standing in the center here. I want to see if any of them are unique. No. Okay. Don't need to talk to them then. We have one job, and that's to go back to Graven Ashe. See how Grandpappy Graven Ashe is doing. I wonder where we go next. I want to go to the Burning Library, so I get that Obsidian shard. I thought there was something else at the Burning Library too. But maybe not. At the very least, I want that Obsidian shard. Because I'm itching for an artifact weapon on my main character. Alright, so I'm actually going to head to the spire first. In hopes that our project's finished on my way there. Alright. Beautiful. Oh, what did he say? With the edict ended, there is bound to be countless discoveries of lost knowledge that have been buried underneath the rust that storm kicked up. So scroll and recipe sable root. So another infirmary item. Drug recipe. Oh, yeah, because that's what we found. Alright, let's get started on that. Then we'll head to the mountain spire so we can buy some hide. And we should, hopefully, have enough for the Hierarch's robe. Only two more. I don't actually know what that puts me at. We're not going to use that. I don't want to sell Titan's Hoof and Titan's Knuckle, but I guess I have no reason to hold on to it. I didn't compare Faithful Promise to Barrick's current shield, so let's do that. I don't think it has a special effect, though. It doesn't. So better recovery time, better parry, better dodge, and better endurance. But this isn't fully upgraded. And this has a special effect that's pretty good. It's not just armor or parry, it's like a flat damage reduction. 50% at that. It's, yeah, that's just better. So we'll sell that as well, and sell all this junk. Though it is percent damage reduction, and the damage values in this game aren't super crazy. Right. Like the highest I've seen is what, 140 or something. So there's an argument to be made that the shield I'm currently using isn't that great. But stacked with his other extreme health talents. Where's it at? You know, increased armor when he drops 35% health, and then also the big heal that he gets. Which will also, I assume, deactivate... Well, no, it lasts for 15 seconds. So if he hits that 35% threshold, yeah, he'll get a big heal, but then he'll also get this plus 8 armor and that damage reduction for however long that lasts. Oh, I guess it only lasts for the split second that he's at 35% health, so... Nice, so twice forged bronze shirt and some supplies. Can we afford this? We're short 3 hide. Son of a gun. Oh, Crashing Thunder, that's new. So his hammer lands with a resonating crash of thunder that puts victims in a state of shock. So on crits, the knockback that all hammers have, and then on crit, stun for 2.3 seconds. I mean, it's not great. This is the cheapest bronze ingot requirement, so we're going to get the Sorcerer's Blade. Then I'm actually going to sell this, because I don't need that. So we have 2 of those. Oh, and also I can sell the other one that we got from, I have a new message. Where's it at? Yeah, we don't need this either. We don't need this. Alright, ton of messages. So, questions of balance from Fatebinder Callio. Fatebinder, you've proven your cleverness in the face of an apparently impossible choice. But I've been so wise in the same situation, I cannot say. And only that I do not envy your mission. I must urge caution, however. Some who watch your actions may be more alarmed than amused. Will they be able to convince themselves that the Overlord crafted the Edict of Storms with this loophole in mind? Or will they see in your choice an alternative that cannot be set to parchment? Hope soon you make an effort to join us at court in the Bastard City. I often feel that it has been too long since we last whispered of the darker corners of Tyranny. We've experienced so many of them as of late. Perhaps I can provide illumination. Callio. And Stilling the Storm. Dear Fatebinder Donald, your actions at Sentinel Stand have once again supplied the rumor mongers of the Bastard City with stories to peddle. Some seem to think that your cunning twist of legalese intended to display some great support for the people of Stalwart. That, of course, only leads to speculation about which people of Stalwart you intended to benefit. The unbridled upstarts, or the corrupt old queens. Others foolishly believe you unraveled the Overlord's edict to prove that you could, as if a sliver of cleverness could bring Kyros low. As a scholar, I prefer primary sources to gossip, so allow me to ask you plainly, why did you choose to spare the child? Fatebinder Rogulis. Yeah, it's purely political. Dear Fatebinder Rogulis, the blood of Graven Ashe, Archon of War, flows through that child's veins. It should take no scholar of history or governance to recognize the potential in protecting it. The Archon appreciates family above all else. Why would I deprive him of a grandchild born of the ruling family of Stalwart, if I could do so without shirking my duty to the Overlord? And I make a habit of discarding gifts of fortune. Fatebinder Donald. Yeah, that sounds nice. Nice and diplomatic. Alright, so Iron Hearth. While making your way through the wilderness, you come... Alright, more berries. Let's identify the plant. Budding rose. Harvest the berries. Eat a berry. Wait, I didn't read the whole thing. I skimmed the beginning. Is this the one with the rats again? No, either way. I have dysentery again. I'm glad my adventure isn't cut short because of dysentery. I can't believe that. Twice. I'm gonna stop eating berries I find on the side of the road.
Will do.
I wouldn't mind finding Verse some artifact weapons either, because she's lacking her main weapon set. I mean, she has this one, but she doesn't use that often, and it's specifically good against Bane, so I'm not going to just spam that ability. The Gravekeeper of Sentinel's stand is ours. Oh, how I will relish tearing down every vestige of the unbroken and burning the standard of that corrupt realm. This is a great victory for the disfavored. What's more, we're delivered from the Edict of Storms. My runners speak of you in glowing terms. I instructed them specifically not to report on your deeds in too much detail. I wanted to hear it from no one but the source. Jeez. I know more about how it felt to stand in the center of the storm as the Overlord's magic dissolved around you. You must be wary from your travels. I'm eager to hear your account, but I'll understand if you need to gather your thoughts. This is a joyous day, and I wouldn't spoil it with impatience. I claim the mighty Ocean Spire. Another spire added to your arsenal. Impressive. But I question what you can do with 2, 3, 7, 8 spires at your command that you cannot do with 1. Be sure and clue me in once you figure it out. I can only imagine that Tunon will be interested as well, not to mention the voice of Nerat. Like it or not, you have our attention, and we will be watching. Other questions for you first. I'll return from Sentinel's stand. The seat of the Regents and the tarnished gem of Stalwart. I've anticipated this, so tell me, what do you have to report? Astratus Herodin is dead. That is gratifying to hear. The coward spent too long crouched behind the walls of Sentinel's stand, and deserved none of Kyros' mercy. The Regent family was an inbred and corrupt line of failed rulers. They had neither the courage nor the grit to lead their realm to prosperity, as they demonstrated. Stalwart is much improved by their absence. The Edict of Storms is ended, and I have breathed fresh air for the first time since I returned to Iron Hearth. You managed to accomplish what my forces could not. More importantly, you've abated Kyros' anger for the time being. The great stalemate of the conquest ended. Surely we have earned the favor of Tunon and Kyros alike. Every deed you accomplish in the name of the disfavored proves our right to rule these lands. Ash balls a fist, enthusiastically pumps it in the air. How did it feel, Fatebinder? I have not had the distinction of breaking an edict, much less several. It felt like breaking a spell, and more like absorbing it. It felt less like. Complete opposites. A strange distinction. I would offer you some comforting assurance that this will pass, but that would be an empty promise. Your actions at Vendrian's Well have caused us all to expect more than you were ever prepared to shoulder as a legal clerk. Living up to our admittedly high expectations will do more than merely get you through this war. There are greater things to come once the dust settles. So what are our next steps? Is there nothing else you wish to discuss? Nothing about my daughter? Ash furrows his brow, looks at you with some unspoken emotion. Well, let's talk about Amelia. You've seen her restored to my keeping. She is safe in Iron Hearth, and in spite of myself, I am pleased to have her home. He nods and releases a heavy sigh. The tension in his shoulders lift, if only for a moment. She is taken to her quarters, and speaks not of what transpired during her long imprisonment. I've instructed her guard to offer space to rest and regain her strength, but so far she keeps to herself. She has not sought her father's counsel either. He frowns at this, deep in thought. Say what you would then. She had a daughter with Stratus the Younger, the Regent's son. What are you saying, Fatebinder? Amelia is too noble to lay with some southern wretch, much less willingly bear his polluted offspring. No, this is some fabrication, a joke at my expense. I cannot. Ash squeezes his eyes shut, and shakes his head vigorously. No, no, no. The very idea repulses me beyond all measure. And you, Fatebinder. He bears down on you with madness in his eyes. If you bring slander and atrocity to this fort, then I will instruct Tunon to strike your head from your from your lawful neck. Do you hear me? He bellows with such force that spittle wets his beard. The cohorts of the training yard turn with panic in their eyes. Ashe cuts off his speech and holds his rigid posture. Throughout the prolonged silence, you aren't sure if he plans on swinging his mace in a wide arc, or simply exploding from the tension he fights to repress. A vein rises along the crest of his scalp, and slowly recedes as Ashe calms his breathing. I'm just gonna back away and let you handle this one. Don't mind me. Speak no more of these lies. I won't have them poisoning the air of Iron Hearth in the ears of my fellow countrymen. You are a fool if you think I'd believe such an obvious ruse. Ashe regards you with uncertainty, his eyes searching for truth or contradiction. She didn't say anything at all about her situation. He holds your gaze with flat, even focus. Ashe takes a deep breath through his nose, filling his lungs and swelling his chest until it's expanded significantly in your vision. When he releases the breath, it comes out deflated and resigned. It's amazing to me how long it takes some people to get the hint. Don't mind me. I'll just sit back and watch this play out. By the Overlord's mercy, was there ever a father more blind than me? The bundle, the healer, the sorrowful looks worn by her attending soldiers. His gaze shifts over to one of the windows of his castle, just in time to catch a silhouette stepping back from view. Kyros' flames, but I should hurl her and that accursed creature from the rampart walls. Our family name, the very north, is degraded by her lechery. Ashe grabs at his face and howls into his hands. In time, you could learn to forgive her. No, that is not possible, Fatebinder. When I look into her eyes, I'll see only the vileness that she invited into her heart. The deception that her captors inflicted to twist my daughter is the disgrace she has become. The wretched girl was still a member of my legion, but she has broken our bond as surely as she has killed me. As if she had killed me. I've lost my daughter, and she must learn to endure a general in her father's place. In spite of my temperament, you have done as I asked. Amelia has returned. The edict is ended. Perhaps I'm too quick to blame you for the failings of my once noble house. A haunted expression overtakes the Archon, and the lines running down his face deepen with sorrow. It takes him several moments to blink again, and shake himself back to his senses. First things first. My soldiers reported on your activities in the Blade Grave. They saw what happened when you broke the Edict of Storms. The power of this edict flowed through you like the wind. No one could account for it, but I have my suspicions. You're becoming powerful, perhaps in ways I don't even understand. There's a connection between the edicts and what happened in Ascension Hall. I'm still putting the pieces together. I appreciate your honesty and your introspection. Still, you walk a dangerous path. I do not want to reflect poorly on the Legion. I want it to reflect poorly on the Legion. These are tools beyond the ken of people or Archons alike. Take care that you don't overstep your bounds. In Kyros' hierarchy, someone always notices. With that out of the way, let us return to the matter of the war. Our position in the tiers is strengthening by the day, but there's work still to be done. It's time to broaden our scope in this war. There are two regions of interest, and either of them would strengthen our hold on the realm. Lithian's Crossing is home to merchants and the skilled forge-bound artisans. The Burning Library was the home of the all-knowing sages before Kyros reduced it to cinders. We've already gone to Lithian's Crossing. We even own the spire there, so I think Burning Library would be best. And I can get my hands on that Obsidian Shard, because for some reason, the description of the weapon already tells you where to find it at, so I'll head to the Burning Library. Good. I understand that the Voices of Nerat has dispatched one of his miscreant gangs to comb through the ruins of the library. We cannot allow any privileged knowledge to fall into their hands. Kill any of his red-clad degenerates you find, and destroy the library as Kyros intended. There's also said to be a repository of arcane lore in the bowels of the library, the Silent Archive. It must be eliminated to satisfy the terms of Kyros' will. My scoutmaster, Marek, was dispatched to observe the Scarlet Chorus, though I haven't heard from him in some time. His last known location was the village of Effigy. The wilderness around the library is plagued with chorus patrols and wildfires that can make routes treacherous at a moment's notice. Marek, or it could be Merrick. Merrick should be able to assist you in charting a safe course through that wasteland. The general worries his beard and frowns. I instructed Merrick to destroy all forbidden lore within the burning library, given the first available opportunity. The fact that the Edict of Fire persists is cause to assume that he failed.
Right.
All right. To the burning library. Or effigy, I guess. Our effigy. His village survived the initial destruction wrought by Kyros' Edict of Fire, but fell prey to a more insidious enemy, the wind. As embers and burning parchment scattered across the contested lands, wildfires erupted and devastated the region. Locals refer to the remnants of this town as effigy, due to the frequent fires seen here. Oh. Fuel for the flame. Dearest Fatebinder, champion of Tunon's Gavel, slayer of Choirmen. We hope you recognize that we bear you no ill will. Who understands treachery, if not the Archon of Secrets? We've always held the very highest esteem for the work of other specialists in the arts duplicitous. Make no mistake, dear Fatebinder. After your little performance of Endrin's Well, with such a flair for theatrical illumination, you've ascended in our estimate. We trust you understand that when we peel the flesh from your bones and squeeze the bile from your quivering innards, it's strictly out of artistic integrity and the courtesy owed to a fellow professional. Nothing personal at all. But enough about our friendly rivalry. Do you enjoy the company of our little spy? Her dance never fails to inspire in us the most pleasant quivers. We have a gift for her, delivered through you due to the girl's questionable faculty with letters. We've learned from one of our birds that a mercenary in Haven has been absolutely gloating about slaying her sisters. His boast even secured him work defending some crossing merchant. Show her the sigils on the reverse. She'll know what they mean. The voice of Nerat, Archon of Secrets and Master of Cacophony. The opposite page contains several rough ink scratch symbols that look like nothing more than a child's pictograph. Pictographs of their favorite animals. I'll send my thanks. Archon of Secrets. Receiving your missive was an unexpected pleasure. I shall see to it that Verse is informed. Doubtless this will end in blood. Fatebinder Donald. I guess I'll be cordial. Dear Fatebinder Donald, I suspected that your cleverness did not end at the use of local customs of abdication. You make no mistake in your estimate of the child's probable import, the Archon of War. His continued existence illuminates a gap in his armor, regardless of whether he cherishes the child or resents it. I'd warn you to play such games carefully. You seem to have your eye on the board. Fatebinder Rogulus. Alright, so we're going to actually return. Let me grab this first.
Take a look at that.
Fatefinder. Sounds like Fatebinder. And scroll of precise action. We already have that, though. What is this one? Precise action 2. Then a new bow. Plus 10 accuracy. A Fatefinder is a deliverer of final justice in the Great Court of Mortality. This bow seals the fate of anyone it targets, proclaiming the decision of death over life. I'll see how it compares, but I'm not going to swap out the, Oh, wow. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. So it's saying Grave Bow has to be greater DPS, right? No, Fatefinder has greater DPS when compared to the Grave Bow. Because it's 23, yeah, 7.12. Interesting. Well, the bow isn't her primary weapon, so I'm not going to worry about optimizing the damage output. I was concerned I was misreading it there for a second. Because it says grave bow, and then it says, it gives you the stats in the green and the red. So it's like, oh, so this is the grave bow compared to the bow I was looking at. Encounter in the burning library. Amidst a copse of blackened trunks, you find a stretch of cloudy water. Faint tendrils of steam rise from the surface in slender curls. Thin brown grass grows almost to the water's edge, before giving way to bare gray stone dusted with a thin layer of soot. A scent of brimstone hangs in the warm, stagnant air, joined by something else. The faintest vibration of a power, just beyond your human perception. The water seems to issue from a small cavern set in the hillocks 100 yards north. Examine the cave. Well, then we can do both? Examine the cave first. The water trickles out from a gap in the stones. It seems small at first glance, but you quickly realize that the water is deeper here, and that, while it would certainly be wet work, you can easily enter the cave if you so choose. Yeah, explore the cave. Stripping down to your small clothes, you slip into the warm water and make your way into the darkness of the cave. Once within, your eyes quickly adjust to the gloom, and you find a small chamber of stone before the tunnel dips lower, deep into the water and inaccessible. The chamber itself is comfortable, the light from without slipping in across the surface of the water, dappling the cracked roof with caustic patterns. You find nothing further in the cave and make your way back to the surface. Let's collect water. You scoop out some water to set aside in a clay pot to cool. Even after the heat has fled the liquid, it smells slightly of sulfur and maintains its turbid opacity. Store as a reagent. Why is that exclusive to the Noble Scion? Recognizing that the sulfurous water is likely unfit to drink in its current form, but an excellent component for a potion, you carefully transfer it to your water skins. You clearly mark the skin to ensure you don't accidentally drink from it later. I feel like that would just be a lore check, not a Noble Scion check. He says something new. The Regents have ruled from Sentinel Stand for as long as I can remember. For it to fall opens up a new chapter in Star Wars history. Vagrant's Chaw. This recipe will allow you to make Vagrant's Chaw with access to a Spire Infirmary upgrade and proper materials. And we're done with research at the library. We'll shoot. I think who else sells hide? I think merchants in Lethian's Crossing sold hide. I still need 2 more hide. It might be worth going to Lethian's Crossing and checking those merchants. Oh yeah, I forgot to check that last time I was here. Why does it keep doing that? I'm clicking over here. Nope. I'm going to check the merchants in Lethian's Crossing real fast and see if anyone's selling hide. So I need, I think, 2 more pieces for that robe. Then hopefully that robe finishes while I'm in the Burning Library, taking care of that edict. And then I can start the weapon once I find that obsidian shard. At least that's the plan. Then again, they might not even sell... hide. Yeah, if he doesn't sell it, then I assume nobody does. That's frustrating. Well, hold on, the Forge Bound might sell it. And since I'm here, I may as well check. Oh, there's a merchant here. What does she sell? It might just be Revos that sells hide, and the other resources like that. Well, that is disappointing. Well, I guess I should start researching something else then. Not happy about it, but sometimes you have to settle. Alright, what next? I guess I do Crashing Thunder. It's a little pricey.
I got it.
Alright, you know what? I'm going to call it here. In the next episode, we'll head back to Effigy and take care of that, I guess, meeting with Merrick and dealing with it, with whatever, you know, happens in that town. And then we'll get to the Burning Library proper. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.